summer. Oh, my light isn't on. Not that that really does anything at all, except blind me. All right, summer is approaching. I never know when summer is because towards the end of spring, it literally is summer. And we are in summer, maybe. Which means crochet summer. The thing that I love about crochet is that it's so wintry, sweaters, cardigans, yada da da da, but it's also so summery. Crochet tops, crochet mesh, cover-ups, everything. I love it so much. So it is that time of the year. I don't even know what my hair looks like because I can't really see, but to make your crochet summer wardrobe, we're going to talk about ways, tips, hacks, tricks, life, whatever, how to crochet your best summer wardrobe possible. It is not just having the yarn, it is not just having the hook and crocheting it and following tutorials. There's a lot more that goes into it, and most of it is just crocheting it, but you don't want to crochet a piece and never wear it. Step number 1 is to measure yourself instead of relying on sizes. Different patterns. You can get away with this for sweaters because unless you want the sweaters to be form-fitting or just a certain thing, then you can get away with it. But I suggest that you measure yourself, get your own measurements, have them known. I have my measurements memorized of how big I want certain things to be because everybody is different. And not everybody, as in everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody is different, and it is important to make it for yourself specifically because what might look good on someone else might not look good on you. And that's not because you're not the most beautiful thing in the world. It's because you just are built different. Like, every single person, the measurements of every person is so different. So if you want the top, especially with crochet tops, depending on if you're making a mesh cover up or something, you have more leniency with that. But if you're making something that you want to be fitting towards you, then you definitely want to have your measurements and the feel of how crochet fabric works. I'm kind of saying crochet fabric, but a way to do this, because so many times, this brings me to my next step. So many times, I'm like pointing at y'all magic wand with my crochet hook, but whatever. So many times I have crocheted something and I'll use the chain as the measurement. I'll be like, I want something to be 5 inches long, and then I'll do the chain for 5 inches, and then I'll crochet the stitch, and it's not 5 inches because the chain lied to me. And in order to know how many before, calculate the number of stitches, rows, whatever you need before making the piece, you actually have to make a gauge swatch. And I know people literally lose their mind at gauge swatches, but we're not using the gauge swatch in the way that you think you are. Typically use the gauge swatch to make sure the amount of stitches is the same in a pattern or whatever. But for this, we're really only going to use it once per yarn and hook size, I guess you could say. And stitch. You don't have to do it a bunch of times, depending, I don't know. But what you do, I actually have a whole video on this if you want to see exactly how I do it, but just to go over it quickly, basically you're going to crochet, I'm going to use an example. I'll say 10 chains of half double crochet for 5 rows, right? That would be just a regular square. And then you just measure how wide it is, how tall it is, and then you calculate how long it is. Wait a second. The length of one chain, so how much one chain equals one stitch, I guess you could say. So for example, we'll just say half double crochet is 0.25 inches. I don't think it is at all, but whatever. We'll say one half double crochet is 0.25 inches and one row is 0.5 inches. So then I know if I want to crochet 1 inch, then I'll need 4 chains because 4 0.25s, mathematician, whatever. And same with if I want something to be 10 inches long and each row is 0.5 inches or half an inch, then I know I need 20 rows, if that makes sense. But that is the best way to calculate what you want. I use Google Sheets. Once again, watch the video if you want the whole thing, whatever. But it's so easy. This is actually how I calculate the measurements for my patterns. So this is just the easiest way if you want to get your exact measurement. This does not include stretch. So this literally includes for the measurement that you want. If you want it to be tighter, I would go down in measurements just a little bit, not too much, because putting on a tight crochet piece is also very annoying if it's not tie. So you also just want to keep that in mind. And going along with this, especially for crochet tops, I would say, or even pants and a lot of things, the best patterns you could get are made to measure. If it's sweaters, then let's not even talk about that because we're not going to wear sweaters right now. But best summer patterns that you could get are made to measure ones. I do suggest that. Or at least if they are patterns that have sizes, they tell you, or you could figure out how to incorporate your own measurements so that you don't have to use theirs, because that is just the best way. This is also another one. Typically when you are following crochet patterns, right? For example, I'll follow a crochet vest pattern, we'll just say, and they'll measure based off of the waist. They'll say, measure your waist and then go up or whatever. You want to keep in mind that typically your bust and your waist are going to be different, right? So you have your for example, my bust is 31 inches, my waist is 24 inches. So that's a 7-inch difference in how many stitches I want to be crocheted. So if I want it to fit nicely, if I just use my waist, then the bust is going to be 7 inches too tight. And if I use my bust, then the waist is going to be 7 inches too loose. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep in mind when you're making rows, so say you're going up and down or side to side or whatever, you want to keep in mind the differences and incorporate decreases. And this is also where calculating the amount of change you need comes in handy, because for example, say that we'll just say 1 chain equals an inch, right? So then I know I need 24 for my waist and I'll need 31 for my bust, right? So somehow I know I have to incorporate 7 decreases from the waist to the bust. So it's just important to keep that in mind, because I would say a lot of patterns just give you one measurement and they'll just be like crochet just based off your waist or crochet just based off your bust. And especially if your body, if there is a big difference, sometimes it's not even 7 inches, sometimes it literally could be like 10 inches, 20 inches, and it's not going to fit nicely and you're not going to like it, and it's not going to come out how you want if you don't keep that in mind, the difference between your bust and your waist. Anyways, my SD card tried to die on me. There are different modes of persuasion. With crochet summer, mesh and lace are your best friends, okay? This, I feel like, is what crochet is most known for in summer, is mesh and lace. But that does not mean that everything has to be mesh. So typically what I like to do is I'll make the cups solid so that you can actually wear it if you're not wearing necessarily a bikini or a bra underneath. So you make the cup solid and then you make the rest mesh or a lace stitch or something, because that is typically when you're buying stuff, if you are to buy cover-ups or other summer clothes, a lot of it is mesh, and it also is just best for hot weather, for the beach, for vibes. And I think it is so pretty, especially if you can get a really pretty lace too, or a really pretty mesh stitch. There's just so many where it just has holes, and it kind of gives away that thick sweater look, and it's just so flowy and pretty. I love a good mesh stitch. It just makes me feel like an angelic angel flying mermaid dove. I love a mesh stitch. On top of that, if you don't want to use a smaller hook, or if you want a quicker, easy way to do mesh, just up your hook to the biggest thing you can do, biggest hook size you have, even up to, I don't even know the exact sizes, but like, I don't know. But instead of having to do, for example, with my 4mm hook, guys, the talking is not talking today. Instead of doing 4mm double crochet chain 1, I could just do a double crochet with, let's say, a 10mm hook. I wish I had my hooks next to me because I don't know if that's actually a big size. But yeah, I've done that before. It goes by so much quicker. You could literally whip out a top in 2 seconds, or a mesh cover up or whatever, because with a big hook, and that's just like an easy hack, and it still looks really nice, especially if you want something really flowy and you make something mesh or you make something lace or whatever, and you want it to be flowy and not necessarily form-fitting, then I do suggest that you steam it or block it, because that especially makes it flowy. Crochet can be stiff at times, can be very stiff, and steaming and blocking it is, I feel like, the definition of when it comes in clutch to be flowy and loose. But keep in mind that it does make your piece bigger. So even if before we did the gauge swatch and we got the measurements perfect or whatever, and then we just steamed it or whatever, and it got bigger, now you're like, well, there goes all my measurements. What you could do is steam your gauge swatch before and then do your calculations off of that, so that you know it'll expand to that amount later, if that makes any sense, you know. Just bear with me. For a crochet stitch that is more stretchy and it's a little more forgiving than regular crochet stitches, so that it can fit your form better, I suggest using as many back loop only stitches as you can. If you want to be using single crochet or half double crochet, even double crochet, go in the back loop only, and that will allow more of a stretch instead of like a tight crochet stitch. And also, I think the most annoying part about putting on crochet clothes is how tight it is when you're trying to put it over your head, but then it also has to be tight enough to fit around your body. So with back loop only stitches, that definitely is more forgiving. So if you can somehow incorporate that into your piece. For example, I have these crochet cups. This is kind of the top. The pattern will hopefully be out by now, so this is it unblocked. It's not finished, but whatever. But I have these cups, and in the back, I actually did rows of half double crochet back loop only, so that it has that side to side stretch. Which brings me to my next point, is that when you can, usually typically if we're making crochet tops or something, we'll go bottom up. We'll work our crochets up like this, crochet stitches up like this. But if possible within the top, I do suggest going side to side, because that also gives more of a stretch. So if you're working up and down, right, this piece, typically this is a mesh stitch, so it's a little more forgiving, but it only will stretch up and down with most stitches. Like you might get a little stretch from the side, but if you're working up and down, it'll go up, it'll only stretch up and down. But if you can figure out a way to work side to side, which I think is more the length of your top, like how long you want your top to be, is typically pretty forgiving. It's up to you. You don't really necessarily need it to change or anything. But when it comes to how tight your piece is, that's where you want more forgiveness and more stretchiness. So you do want it to stretch side to side instead of up and down. Another thing with that is incorporating elastic thread. This is my first year using elastic thread, and I must say it is literally genius. It is amazing. You have to get the hang of it at first, but with me personally, I'm not a big fan of tie tops, because every crochet top has to be tied in the back, and I just don't like it. I don't love how it looks, and it looks nice in some tops, but it does not look nice in every top. And the top itself would be so cute. You see the most adorable top ever, and then they turn around and it's a tie top, and you're like, okay, all right. I personally do not love tie tops. I think that's kind of something every crocheter kind of grows out of, is you've made enough tie tops and you're kind of just like, in the beginning, so cute, love them. You're like, yes, I'm making my own clothes, let's go. But then you're on your 20th tie top and you're kind of just over it. That's where elastic thread comes in. There's so many tutorials of how people crochet in elastic thread. What I do is I'll take a smaller hook and I literally just slip stitch into the inner parts of each stitch, and that allows for it to be scrunched. You still want to follow your measurements, but it just allows it to have a more fitting kind of top, instead of, you're typically not going to have a top that without elastic thread, unless you use a very specific stitch that fits you nicely without a tie. So elastic thread allows it to not fall off of you when you are wearing it. Oh, this is another fun one. I love to incorporate brooches into my crochet pieces. I think they just add such a nice accessory personalization to so many different things. And I've also been contemplating making my own brooches with like air dry clay, hot air glue, hot air glue with hot glue. Is that even what it's called? With whatever, and making my own brooches that could like personalize each thing. But when it comes, especially to if you're making a mesh cardigan, or if you just want something to fit a certain way or whatever, clipping on a brooch is such an easy way to make something so cute. And I feel like if someone got a seashell brooch or a starfish brooch and just made it extra summery, that would be so cute. Please do that and message me because I want to see it. So, like we said before, we have our measurements, we have our gauge swatch, we have whatever. This is a big one that I think a lot of crocheters end up doing. I know I end up doing because we're just sitting in our crochet world. We're so comfy. We don't want to get up. Half the time I don't want to record content for it. Whatever. I'm just so comfy in the crochet zone. But you want to check as you go. So many times I have seen millions of crocheters make all this progress to realize it's too small, it's too long, it's too short, and then Frog City. So you want to check your piece as you go, especially if it's for you or if it's for someone else, because even with all the measurement calculations, even with everything, even when we plan, something will always come up. We hope that it doesn't, but you don't want to crochet a piece. And I've done this so many times where I crochet a whole piece and then I don't like it and then I never touch it again because that's just because I wasn't smart enough to just look out for future me and check my piece. Next, we have choose breathable fibers. This is one that I'm working on. People have literally commented my videos and they're like, I've heard, this is not a cute stance, but it's a comfy stance. I've heard that acrylic yarn does make you sweat. That's why I try not to really have thick like cardigans or anything. They're more just fun things for me to make. But if I was to wear them, you want to use fibers like cotton or bamboo, or just avoid 100% acrylic. Even if you could just get acrylic mixes, I think would also be a lot more beneficial. But you let me know how that goes. Lastly, this is more just an idea of sorts, but I love to encourage specific personalizations, creations of crochet. And I think matching sets with crochet are so cute. And no, I'm not just talking about a top and shorts, because if you know me and crochet pants, bottoms do not get along at all. We really don't. I do not like, I think other people do crochet shorts so cute, but on me, making them, everything with them, I do not like them. So I'm more talking about matching sets in a creative style. So it's like you have, for example, let's go with a plain outfit. We'll say black skirt, black top, right? Not crochet, just regular black top. And you want to personalize it, make it more fun. Maybe we'll go with white skirt, white top, because that's more summery. And so what you do is you make a pink and orange headband with a pink and orange bag, or you make a pink and orange waist scarf with a pink and orange, what else? Like a pink and orange top. So there's different ways to do different customizations and to add a creative way twist to your boring, well, maybe boring outfit. I feel like boring is a mean word, but kind of boring outfit. And I feel like crochet is just such a cute ways to customize that. Maybe you do all three, maybe you do, or all four. You do the headband, you do the top, you do the waist scarf, you do the bag, or just so many different ways. Even you could do it down to your flip-flops. You could do it down to your belt. You could do it down to literally anything, but having something matching, I think just really adds that effect. And I think a lot of people have to, we get the generalization of crochet tops, crochet sweaters, crochet cardigans, but I feel like branching out to other crochet arts will be so cool, especially summery vibes. And if you could just incorporate something somehow, even do like a starfish headband, starfish bag, something like that. I would love to see that. I hope you guys bring my ideas to fruition so that I don't have to spend the time making them. If you really want me to, I guess, just buy my pattern. Geez, if I have to, I will. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you got some either inspiration, figured something out, something clicked, you had an aha summer crochet moment, and that you have the best crochet summer ever. I wish you lots of crochet beach and pool and under the sun and pretty park and pretty flowers and vacation crocheting sessions. Bye.